Hello makers, and welcome to Share Stitchery. I'm Catherine Harris, and today I wanted to share with you a tutorial on how to make a burrito style envelope pillowcase. I've recently put out a new pattern on this. You can find it on my website at www.sharestitchery.com or on my Etsy store, also at Share Stitchery. I'll leave all the links in the description down below. So this pillowcase I've got it in king size as well as a standard size pillowcase. It's got a nice trim with some bordered edging as well as an envelope style. So if we flip it up over, you can see that there is a pocket that goes in to secure your pillow in place so that it doesn't fall out. And the nice thing about this pattern is all of the seams are fully enclosed and it comes together really quickly, so you can make this in an afternoon. It doesn't use a lot of fabric, and you can also mix and match your patterns. So I decided to do mine in a silky satin because it is so good on your hair when you're sleeping and you don't get all those tangles and knots, and I've got very fine hair which breaks quite easily, so it's fantastic for that. And you could also do yours in a lovely quilting cotton. So if you've got a quilt that you've made and you want to have some matching pillowcases to go with it, you can do main fabric here and, just mix and match all the different styles. So let's get to it. So we're going to start with a narrow hem. So first thing we're going to do is on a single layer of fabric, we are going to stitch a line of stitching about 1/4 inch away from the edge. Then we're going to fold that over and press right on that stitching line. And then you're going to fold it one more time so you're concealing those ends. And we're going to do this on the envelope flap piece. So once you've got that pressed, you can come in with your pins and pin that in place, or use wonder clips if you have those as well. And next we're going to take it to the sewing machine, and then you're going to stitch close to the edge of that stitching and secure that in place. Next we've got the band, and I've already pressed this in half, and what we're going to do is we're going to take the envelope flap and the edge that we had finished, we are going to put close to the fold there, and we're going to pin it in place. So just make sure you're lining it up right along that fold so you have everything nice and straight. And you can see we've got the rest of the band there. So once that's stitched, we are going to fold that down and we're going to press it just so that it lies nicely within the pillowcase. Now we're going to take our contrasting fabric for the little trim band. We're going to fold that in half and we're going to place that at the top of the band. And then we are going to place the other part of the main pillow on top of that. And we're going to pin all the layers in place here. So you should have 3 layers. 2 of the main pillow bodies sandwiched in between the band and the contrasting trim. So now that we have that stitched, we are going to flip it over, and then this is where the burrito gets its name. We're going to roll up the main part as well as the envelope portion so that all that remains is that band. So we've got it all rolled up, and then we're going to attach both sides of the band, right sides together. And this is how we get the nice enclosed seams for the band. So we're going to pin that in place, being very careful not to get any of the other fabric caught in there. Then we're going to take it to our sewing machine and get that stitched. So once that's stitched, we can then pull out the burrito to reveal our pillowcase with a fully enclosed band with a nice little trim on the end. And then you can see the envelope flap just kind of hangs out at the top there. Now, because we have the envelope flap, we do have to cut the pillowcase main body in half again. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to cut this in half. I like to use the rotary cutter. It's just a little bit easier with the slippery fabrics, but you can use scissors as well. And you're just going to make a straight line all the way down, and you can use the envelope flap as your guide, or exactly half of what the pillow body is. Now, in order to do our French seams, we're going to put wrong sides together, so contrary to how you'd usually do it with right sides together. So match up wrong sides, being very careful to match up the trim bands, because you will see that in the end product if it isn't matched up. And you're going to stitch, or in my case, I decided to serge the edges. So you're going to get that all pinned, going all the way down on both sides. And you're going to want to leave the bottom open for right now. So you can see that I've got that all stitched. I'm going to flip it now so that my right sides are together and I'm looking at the wrong side of my fabric. And then I am going to pin that together. And what I'm doing is I'm just feeling here for the seam allowance, because I do not want to stitch the seam allowance. If you serge the edges, you've got a pretty even seam allowance there, but if you stitched it, you can even get a smaller, narrower hem, and you can trim that down to about 1/8 of an inch and then stitch that for your French seam. So I just take it up to my machine, and we're just going to do a stitch here. Don't forget to back stitch on this. We want to make sure that it is quite secure. You're going to be putting pillows in and out of this. And there you have the inside of your French seams. So we're going to flip this right side out again. And now we're going to look at doing the bottom, because the bottom is open on the ends. So like we had done with the sides, we're going to do wrong sides together. We're going to stitch that. Then we're going to flip it inside out. And then we're going to pin it very carefully along the bottom here to create our French seam. So once that's all pinned, we're going to take it to the machine and we're going to straight stitch that in place. And there you have it. It is all done. All of the seams are enclosed. We're going to flip it right side out. And you have your envelope burrito pillow. So there's a nice little envelope that holds your pillow pocket. Well, there you have it. A nice quick pillowcase that you can put together in an afternoon. If you have any questions at all on it, please let me know in the comments down below. If you like this video, please give it a big thumbs up. And if you haven't already, please hit the subscribe button down below. So until next time, guys, let's get our sewspiration on.